Name tags good though?
Yeah.
Cool. We're set with the name tags.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead and just give me a mic check, just regular voice as like a conversation voice.
Well, I tend to talk pretty loud in general, but yeah, this would be my standard speaking voice.
Got it?
Yep. Same here. I think a whole lot of great things are happening as we speak. So let's continue to keep it going.
You need to hold it closer.
Hold it a little closer.
Yeah, you're like that.
Okay, we ready?
We're ready. Go ahead and start the intro. And you already know what time it is. It's the Giving Excellence Movement. We got Sean Doherty, the business strategist.
Michael Dunn Jr., thank you guys so much for just being intentional today.
Thank you for being intentional. You heard it from the best. He's our creative director. He is the creator of Giving Excellence Movement. He had the vision, and I loved it so much when we first met that I gravitated towards him and what he was all about. I loved pouring into the youth before I moved to Dallas, Texas. But he took my belief and what I love to do and had a vision for it.
Yeah.
And I ultimately helped put that into action. So this is just one of our many multimedia projects we're working on. We got the live stream podcast we're doing here at Spayse Studios in Dallas, Texas.
You, Spayse.
Thank you, Israel, for putting this on. Shannon Hauk, he is the switcher typically. But we got Israel, who was gracious enough to allow us to be in his studio, give his time and talents towards us.
Right.
And this episode is specifically just to hear Mike and I talk, and I hope that you find it valuable. We hope that you take bits and pieces of what we have to say today and apply it to your lives, because we believe that we are on a journey of something great.
We all are.
And we all are.
That's true.
Of course.
And I think, it's like, it's about time that we finally get to let the people hear you and I. We've been bringing
because
on
not
these
everyone
guests.
knows what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so we know that obviously we were brought together for a purpose, and we share similar interests.
Right.
So I think it's just mostly important for you guys to get a background of how Sean and I truly got connected and how this Giving Excellence movement started. And I guess, we can start off with you, Sean. So Sean Doherty, where did you grow up?
Where did I grow up?
Where did you grow up? Let the people know, man, the city you come from, what raised you to who you are today, where your roots from.
Yeah, man. So I think that's important that we share our personal stories and why we're doing what we're doing, because this episode is what we stand for at Giving Excellence Movement. So knowing our background hopefully entitles young adults and even adults to be a part of what we're trying to do. And I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I grew up in a middle-class household, and I definitely had a lot of things going for me. I didn't really have to fight for too much, which kind of was a blessing, but also didn't equip me with the skills pretty much to go about in life when adversity hit. So I did go through a season of dryness as far as spiritually, and going through that process made me stronger.
Exactly.
And so when I moved to Dallas and introduced...
when did you move to Dallas?
I moved to Dallas in 2015.
Okay, so it's 2017. So you're freshly new.
Yeah.
And you've definitely built a lot of strong relationships, I can say. And, man, you've just been shooting high ever since the day I met you. I'm just very proud of your growth and, the man that you've become. You've a recent father, so welcome to the fatherhood. That's something that I see is growing, that light in you, just to see your own seed, and came from you, and now you're handling your responsibility. You're a committed family man. You have goals and you're sticking with them. So thank you, Sean.
Well, thank you for those kind words. And it wouldn't be in existence without Mike Dunn and his vision of pouring into the youth, because I always had a belief that I knew I had a role with giving back to the youth, but I hadn't been exposed to a lot of inner city kids or even a different background or culture than what maybe Mike or some of his friends and family have gone through, and that opened my eyes. And I always thought that giving back to the youth was always a non-financial, I guess, would you say like a not a good financial decision to just help kids or watch kids? And he said that I want to build a media platform. I'm going to speak to these youth and give them an option and to live out their passions and dreams. And it sounded cliche at the time, but as we dug deeper and deeper, we felt like there was a huge need, not only speaking to the youth that are struggling with certain things, but also giving them a platform. And so we want to dive into all different entertainment platforms to give them a professional role model so that they can look up to. And, you know, with recently, we've been able to kind of display our services page. We have a commercial that was recently made that kind of helps the audience really understand what we are, what we represent, and the things that we can provide for you, your school, your event, whatever it may be. We are open to receiving those inquiries, and we look forward to being a role model that your kid can look up to. And that goes along with, you know, we have to hold ourselves accountable to being that role model, even behind closed doors. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and air our recent commercial that Greg Keith from GK Films just made and blessed us with an amazing commercial. So go ahead and air that for us, Israel.
Let's let them see it.
Giving Excellence Movement is a culture of individuals that are transforming the entertainment industry into an educational platform. Through our variety of services, we bring years of study, personal development, mentorship, and life experiences that not only educate the youth, but also aspiring entrepreneurs to walk as a role model and create positive change within their communities. We see there's a major need in the entertainment industry for powerful young role models that the youth can latch onto and bring about lasting change in not only their lives, but the lives of thousands of others that may need a helpful hand to get out of their current circumstances. Our services include live speaking at schools, businesses, and events, TV show and event host, uplifting music production, brand ambassador work such as commercial advertising, acting, and much more. If you would like Giving Excellence to come provide your school, business, show, or event a boost of positive, sustainable personal development, please inbox us at givingexmovement@gmail.com and visit us at our website at www.givingexmovement.com. We are honored to bring the movement to you and look forward to continuing to transform the entertainment industry into one that can showcase young, professional role models that our next generation can listen to for guidance and support. From Giving Excellence Movement, we love you and know you can and will give excellence in every area of your lives.
Man, what an excellent commercial. You know, that's just displaying the services that we provide here at Giving Excellence. Like I said, Giving Excellence started, obviously, a vision. Everybody in the world has some type of seed that's planted in them. I truly believe that.
I'm on it.
And for me, it took a lot of self-realization. So I had to find out what I wanted to really do in this world. You know, what was my purpose of being here? And I feel like everyone is on a spiritual journey. But once you know, like, okay, I really want to know, how can I be the best help to humanity or other people? How can I be a service to other people rather than, you know, thinking about what's in it for me?
Well, that and just going through life, a monotonous lifestyle of just clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you don't have a role in that area as well.
Yeah.
But as we continue to grow and as we see people come and go, you know, live and pass away and go on, I think that we have a precious time on this earth that we must take full advantage of. And these platforms that we are building currently and entertainment role models that we assume and what we take full responsibility of becoming and are, you know, we don't have time to waste. You never know who's going to hear my story or connect with me, maybe my upbringing, or, you know, when Mike shares his personal story, you never know who's listening. And, people's lives and souls are on the line. So we take this serious.
And I think for, to kind of touch in, I think even the audience, because the whole purpose of the show is to offer some value to the people, to our viewers that are listening, to our audience. And, to touch back, you're right. It's never the right time. No. The time is now. The time is now to decide to make that decision of what you want to become in your life, and it takes a lot of personal development. Helped me, honestly, man. A lot of really
studying, reading, audiobooks, writing down your thoughts, just simple day-to-day habits that have transformed you. And it's I've seen it happen.
What's some of the positive habits that you have right now, Sean, that we can share with people that has helped you continue to excel?
I think it's understanding my skill set, understanding a lot of the even weaknesses that Mike has even brought out of me. But I think it's reassuring to know that I have a voice. Yeah. I have a voice to be heard, and every person does. And some of the habits that I start out, I love to just get my personal time when I wake up, get a workout in, get the right nutrients in my body, but also get time for prayer, get time to get right for the day, and understand that even if I'm clocked in at work or whatever it may be, that you never know who's going to be in front of me. You never know who's watching your steps. You never know what kind of person is feeding off your character and what you represent. And so that takes a lot of responsibility, but the habits start at the beginning of the day when you get your mind right and understand that no other person can take the power from you. Right. Don't let anyone affect your attitude or your view on life, because you're in charge of your own thoughts. Yeah. And another way for me to not only get prayer in is to give thanks, give gratitude.
Gratitude is
important. And also pray for others and step outside yourself. Right. So those are some things that I've acquired into my daily habits that make it take the pressure and the stress off me and realize that there's a bigger purpose that we have here on this earth. And giving gratitude and thanks and praying for others is just so reassuring. So you're prepared for the day after that, and and just try and walk the best life you can, man. You're going to make mistakes, but, I feed off that. I love getting audiobooks. Mike's a reader. I'm a listener, so I like to listen, even though I talk a lot. I like to listen to audiobooks, so every time I step in my car, that's an opportunity instead of listening to destructive music or radio, and it's not all destructive. It's just that if I can gain knowledge, whether it's in business, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in psychology, you have to after school, you have to continually seek knowledge, because books aren't going to just flop on your table like in school in the generic education system. Right. You have to go out and find knowledge.
You got to want to be educated.
Yeah.
Without school systems, you have to want to find that niche of yours. You have it. You already have that gift, and a lot of times we hesitate to utilize.
Because not all gifts that we assume can make you survive monetarily and build a family with.
Well, it just depends how much you believe too.
Right, and that's a belief. And so
believing is everything. It's like. Like you say, it sounds cliche. Oh, anything is possible. You can achieve. No, you really actually can. You're made in the image of God. So with that said, God is a creator. So you are a co-creator with God. Yeah. That's just how it is. And once you realize that once you gain a certain awareness and you stop being so self-conscious, but just conscious of your inner world, I should say, then that's when you start to realize that you can create your world. That's when you start to realize that it gets deep down to how you're feeling. You're feeling good, what's going to happen when you're feeling good? You're going to produce good. It's just that simple. Your thoughts, when they're thinking of what you want rather than doubt, fear, lack, there's no such thing as that. Those things are they're planted in people's minds, and they start from as a kid growing all the way up. But I've learned,
speak in abundance and assume it's going to come by speaking it into existence, but also taking the action. You can't just talk about it and ask for certain things if you're not taking action.
Right.
And that's a huge thing. I think that I know before we came to the set today, Mike and I talked on the phone, and I just wanted to give thanks to him, but also understand that our role is important in the entertainment industry, and that our meetings, when we go and meet, like we might have an hour slot maybe a couple times a week, but we have a lot of phone conversations. But the vibe that we have with each other when we talk about what our vision is, it's exciting. We have this energy of straight positivity. There's no negativity. We hold each other accountable.
Right.
And we want to give a glimpse of what a productive meeting and what kind of a higher purpose that we have. And we want people to see that anyone has the capabilities of doing something, like an idea. We have a lot of projects coming up, but this first one just makes us feel like we are making moves. We were just
progress.
We were just a logo to start.
Yeah.
You know, we were just a logo, just trying to volunteer and trying to speak to schools. We didn't know exactly what we represented, but now we're starting to hone in on it. And Giving Excellence Movement is a culture of positive role models, and individuals from young to old. So this is just the start, and we're super excited, and we hope that someone listening can gravitate towards what we're trying to do, because we're young men, but we have a short time.
And the most important thing, like I said, I'm sorry to cut you off. We are young men. We have a certain point of time, but you know, hey man, one day at a time.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. You know, when you have a vision for your life, you got to understand that it takes a lot of work. It's a huge process. You know, it's a lot of effort. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs.
Right, and we've gone through some of that.
You embrace those moments where it's a little bit more challenging, because you know in the midst of an adversity, you're going to come out that and become stronger. You know, so I like to say, I took this book out of Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
It said failure is only equivalent to the I'm trying to remember the failure is equivalent to the seed of success.
Okay.
So when you place yourself to not be afraid to fail, right? And when you say, you know what, I'm going to do this because either or, I'm going to learn from it. And you got to understand, the more you fail, the closer you're getting to success.
Right. And if you take the failure with the right attitude,
right, that's important. Right attitude is highly important, because you can fail and you can take something like, oh, I took this step, I didn't get the results that I wanted, so I'm not going to try it again, and I'm going to have fear and doubt. Or you can take it like, okay, I took this step, I didn't get the results what I wanted, but I'm going to push again. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to be diligent on the next step. How can I become better? So it's that attitude.
Well, it's easy to give up. We talked about that on another episode. The easy thing is to give up and just go through life and just be, I hate to say it, but average. I don't know.
You know.
Or just getting caught up in, you know, what the quote-unquote American lifestyle is, the status quo. But I want to ask you, Michael Dunn, when you came to me at the gym and kind of pitched,
I came to you.
You came to me.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I was investing in real estate. I still do today, and he was gravitated towards that. But I was more keen on his youth movement that he was trying to start. What did you see in that moment? What did you really want to do? And looking at what the Giving Excellence movement is today, is it where you want it to be? Is the trajectory kind of on par, or did it just kind of cultivate?
You know, it's been a process, and I would say throughout that time, you know, I'm a spiritual person. You know, I'm very big on that. That's how I follow my intuition. So throughout the time, the reason how even the whole Giving Excellence started was I've noticed that I would be in places, I mean, you can name anywhere, random places, and for some reason I would always be in front of the youth, and I would be speaking to them, you know, asking them about the purpose of life, because I understood that a lot of our youth, they don't have that foundation where they have that true understanding. Okay, this is what I'm going to get. This is what I know that's possible for me. So, but it wasn't just any youth. It was a lot of kids who are within the black communities. That's strictly what it was.
Right.
It was a lot of within the black communities, a lot of kids that don't have, a lot of positive examples within their communities. And they think that the only route for them to be successful is to sell drugs or to go out here and rob or to go out here and, do
Sometimes that's what they assumed is what, and that's what any underprivileged area is what they seem they need to do to survive. And sometimes, unfortunately, it is.
That's true. That's true.
I think the main thing that I touch base, sorry to cut you off there too. We'll go back into that. Yeah. But a lot of the people they look up to in the entertainment industry is when I started to hear what he was trying to say, how can we go from Mike speaking to these kids and making that just the business instead of Mike just going and speaking to schools? Because that sounds awesome and cool, but I didn't know what my role was in it. But I took that thought, and we still incorporate that. We still speak to live schools. In fact, we got one coming up here in Duncanville, DeSoto ISD. So that's a huge part of our company. But I wanted to be available to the nation of youth without him having to physically be there. So we're trying to meet the youth where they are. And they're on media. They're also they're on different media platforms. So we want to be in their face, speaking life and love and spirit and inspiration wherever they're at. Yeah. It'd be ignorant for us to just be like, okay, well, we're just going to write books and then speak to schools. And kids are going to be like, oh, we got another speaker. We have to, if some people gravitate towards live speaking, we got Mike and me. Yeah. But if some people like to watch videos, we got videos. If they want music, you better believe that's coming.
It's a media platform.
So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to hear out what the kids want, what the kids need, what they're looking at. And instead of a negative artist that they're watching their YouTube feed and different things, we can input ourselves in there and they can be like, hey, I want to not necessarily just be like us, but use the platform to speak positivity and love and energy. And
because one thing, you attract who you are. So, I think with us, the more that we continue to speak, the more that our thoughts are focused on what we want, of what we're creating, that's what we're going to attract. So to touch back with you, how did I know? Well, I was at the time in my life where I'm running into all of these situations, but then, I always know that God is always leading me to the right people, the right resources to further what I am seeking. So, I think it's the same with us. We knew that we were passionate for kids. And that's another thing. We have to show them, because I think it's another thing to sit here and speak about it. But until they actually see us in front of the kids, to see how well we cooperate with them and how much we can engage with them and how much that they listen, that is when people will be like, okay, yes, I see now what it is that these guys can really do. Because that's when I saw you, man, at serving at your church, just how much the kids love you and they gravitate towards you. I said, wow, like it's a gift for kids to be like that, because they don't gravitate towards everybody.
Right.
And not everyone sees kids the way we do. Right. Or everyone has a different perspective. Me, my first time ever speaking in a classroom, again, since I was, obviously in the classroom, I saw the future of the world. I saw some bright kings and queens. I saw like a generation of youth that were going to change and save this world. So that was a third grade class. And that's when I really had that opportunity, life school, that really, bro, it was an emotional day for me. Just because, it felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
That's exactly what I can't even
explain.
That's
what you've said since day one.
I said, wow, I've said in the middle of the classroom, I'm like.
And a lot of kids have never heard that about themselves before.
Yeah.
And for you to speak that truth into them, that it's in their hands and they can take control.
It was such an amazing day.
Yeah.
You remember what happened when we went to the second time, when I walked in the classroom?
Oh, man, they were they were
I
they were
wasn't
lit up there.
I
Like
wasn't
they all
expecting
gave him
that.
a bear hug. That was hilarious.
wasn't
And I was like, all
expecting that.
right, I'm gonna let this kid go ahead and take it away. And I just
Yeah.
sat and watched it happen. It was hilarious.
They're awesome kids, man. They're
That's your.
so bright.
He loves the middle school. I love
Elementary.
elementary. I
Middle,
love
all.
middle school, high school age, but we're gonna hit them all.
The reason why for elementary though, Sean, that I think is important because you plant those seeds in those kids. I mean,
they can run away with it.
They will run away with it.
And they'll remember you for a lifetime,
forever. That's how they are. That's how we are as kids because their imagination.
Oh, their brain is just molding
we feed them,
and
man.
yeah.
So they and it's nothing away from middle school is definitely they're ones that
That's
you have
an interesting age.
They're an interesting age for sure. High school, we're like, okay, how can we get these guys to understand that they have to be leaders towards the ones that are younger than them, so that they can start transitioning their mind to think, okay, we have to continue to do the right thing. Like the speaking engagement when we spoke to group of high school kids, it was at Bands of Hope.
Bands of Hope. That was fun too.
A lot of those kids, I've noticed that. But one thing I've noticed about the high school kids.
It's not cool to like be positive, I felt like. Some of the kids that gave us good feedback,
they
really gave
good
us
feedback.
great questions in the high school age. It's not trendy to be positive and speak. It's not even cool to give respect to people anymore. I mean, I would assume that happened to me in my day, but the good kids, isn't there a negative stigma to that? Like you're a goody. I think
yeah.
I mean, we could transform that.
That's what we're doing.
I definitely had a stigma towards the goody. You're the. Why can't we just be respectful to everyone?
Right.
And it took a mentor for me in high school to understand that, and that's Mike Smith Live.
Yeah, Mike Smith.
Mike Dunn already knows about Mike Smith Live. We're gonna have to connect with him. Definitely. So Mike Smith Live was a mentor in a high school group called the Campus Life back in Omaha, Nebraska. It was pretty much a social hour. The only reason we were part of the Campus Life group was to go on the snowboarding trips. Yeah, so me and my guys got into some, negative, destructive behaviors. I tried to like bridge the gap. Like, was I going to be a good kid or kind of do things that were, not so great?
How were you as a kid, man? I couldn't even imagine.
Man,
He's a nerd.
I feel like I was more of a follower than a leader.
Really?
But
why you say that? Like because you just wanted to fit in?
I didn't know my identity pretty much.
Yeah,
I didn't know,
a lot of people.
if I was a skater kid, if I, wanted to be a part of the sports crowd. I didn't. I learned a lot in high school because, I definitely shunned a lot of people that I look back and wish that I could have poured into.
Yeah.
But at that time, I didn't have the knowledge.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready for it. I was far away from all the great things that I'm experienced right now. Mm-hmm. But I think it'd be cool if it was trendy to be nice to one another.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, one thing that I really see within some of the youth today is that we do have a set of ones that want to do the positive things. Like, we like the feedback we received and even recently, going to these schools, some of these kids, they really do because they see how the kids have really got,
their demeanor changes throughout the speech I see happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's there, man. We just have to stay consistent. Stay consistent, continue to...
Yeah, we're not going anywhere,
yeah, so you guys got to get used to it.
If y'all are still tuned in, we're going to be here in your ears, in your faces.
Yeah.
And
it's just going to get more from this point.
Yeah, the platform's going to... So get used to it.
Yeah.
But we're at Spayse Studios.
It's a positive thing.
Yeah.
We just want to, our job, our responsibility is to be the leaders of our generation. Mm-hmm. And that's something that, like I said, it's a responsibility. We're not just doing this for fun. Mm-hmm. So,
and we're just so blessed and grateful that Spayse Studios is our first home.
Yeah. Amazing.
We had a stint, and we still do work at Never Satisfied.
Right.
But Spayse Studios, when I walked into this room and saw Israel show me the studio, I walked in this podcast room and I was like, this has to be our first way of getting pouring into the youth and just giving ourselves a voice regardless of who's watching it.
Right.
But we need to give them some love and inspiration on this level and grow it, because this is where we fine tune our skills, and this is where they can first be exposed to kind of what we represent,
Right, exactly.
and bring in talented people that are way above knowledge. I wouldn't say knowledge, but have more life experiences
Very
than us that
creative
we
in
bring
ways,
into
yeah.
the show. And so Spayse Studios, you know, we'll forever be grateful for you.
Of course.
And we're going to go ahead and air their commercial, because if you truly think that you have a voice to be heard, if you want to be in any acting role, if you're into music, any creator, I think
place
we're
to
all
be.
creators. I didn't think I would ever be on this platform, but if you're ever interested in that, Spayse Studios is a great place to come and just pick the brain of Israel and get an opportunity to get your own show heard. And we're going to go ahead and air the Spayse Studios commercial
Make it
so you
happen.
can learn about what they have to offer here.
Here we go.
check here. We got Sean with the Giving
I'm not
Excellence.
hearing you, Sean.
Because they're on 1 and 2 now.
Oh. Give me mic check.
Mic check.
Yo, yo.
Keep going.
Hey, it's Sean here with the Giving Excellence Movement.
It's Michael Don Jr. Hello, everyone.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're ready.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, we're back. Man, we're in a different setting.
It feels good to be in a different.
Wow.
setting. Switch things
There's
up.
so much lighting over here.
Yeah,
I feel like I have so much more energy now.
feel that vibrant
But
energy.
what'd y'all think of the Spayse Studios commercial? They got a lot to offer,
Let
don't
us
they?
know. Comment in space.
Man, and we're not even getting paid to market this thing.
But we gotta help because they've been such a great help for us,
yeah,
you know?
we are so excited to be here,
So
and it's
grateful.
amazing to be back. This is for the second half. This is the Giving Excellence Movement show.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We got Michael Dunn Jr. and Sean Doherty. I am the business strategist. Michael is the creative director, as we stated earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just great to be back and talk about what we stand for here at Giving Excellence Movement, how we kind of started things here, where our trajectory is going, and why we do the things that we do, because this is a full-time thing that we're doing. Whether it's being on date with on point with our social media, whether it's staying strict to our meeting schedule, because this is a non-negotiable anymore. We've seen what our thoughts and our vision has grown into and continues to catapult onward
Right.
with. So,
I got a question for you, Sean. What drives you? What keeps you motivated?
what drives me, man,
What keeps you motivated, Mr. Sean Doherty? Let the people
I
know.
would say, man, just going through 24, 25 years of my life with just living it and realizing that I have a bigger role in this world. And it's not about me. It's the fact that people need to hear, I need a mentor of what I'm trying to be. And I feel like I have a voice now of going through the deep, dark times of depression that I went through. But also to experience different cultures now being here in Dallas. What drives me is that you never know when your life is going to get taken. You never know when I always thank God for my limbs, the air I breathe, just gratitude. And when you understand that, you take a step away from yourself, and in this self-centered world that we're in, what I do now is not about me. It's about the people that we can impact, and seeing all the lives that we've been able to touch, and so many more that we feel like need it. And, whether it's a young kid, 19-year-old kid that's reaching out to me to help mentor him, it's some of the first times he's heard this life speak into him about the things that we represent in Giving Excellence Movement. And when I hear kids come back like, thank you for just pouring love into me and giving me a positive role model to look after, I think that we're willing to take that responsibility, and it's a huge need. Even though there's a lot of motivational speakers, there's a lot of inspirational speakers, there's some great faith-based hip-hop or faith-based music that's going on out there. I truly believe that there's never enough of role models to be out there, and for us to be able to hit different industries and also give kids the ability to be a part of the movement as we grow and mold ourselves into the brand we are and what we want to become is just powerful, because that gives kids ownership to be a part of the movement. And we hope that we can groom kids to use their creative spirits, their creative gifts, and to branch off into their own thing. And so just the huge vision that is so close but so far away, that I now have a purpose to pursue, a purpose to wake up each day. And I know that lives are depending on what we do here. It sounds weird and cliche and spiritual, but like the more that we talk about it, people need this, and it's not about us.
Well, let's do it.
That's what drives me. How about that?
That's what drives me. That's something.
That's one of my critiques, though, as I talk.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. But I remember when Sean was like, "Man, I'm not doing the speaking. That's your thing. Look at you, man.
He forced me into it.
You're like flying now. Like, what's going on, man? Been practicing behind the scenes.
No, I mean, no.
A little bit.
It's more the knowledge that I'm trying to seek.
recently
It's just
joined.
open-mindedness.
Yep. And you recently joined 72.
72 Initiative Network. Shout out.
Initiative Network.
We love you.
Grant Skeldon, he's the founder of that.
Grant Skeldon's the founder. We got Jamal Clark, who is part of the men's side of 72.
Nice.
And we actually have, I would say once a month, Vox speaking and training where different judges, like high-end judges, like people that have been speaking for 15 years in front of people, critique you. And I've been able to, use their advice to be better on this stage because I don't have a choice. I put myself in uncomfortable situations to test myself, to stretch myself, to grow. And if you don't do that, you're always going to be complacent and comfortable. And as we say a lot at the church I go to is be comfortable being uncomfortable because the trendy things, if you go against the trend, it's a little awkward sometimes. Some of the strengths that I have now used to be my weaknesses and vice versa. So I think that, it takes other people that believe in you to get that out of you. And what Mike has done for me on this speaking platform, I hope that I can, and if it's not speaking, it's another creative thing that you can do to be able to show people love.
Yeah, most importantly, it's good to have people believe in you, but it's very awesome to believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams, believing in what you have deep within inside of you is meant to be a help towards other people.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, share your gift to the world, utilize it. If you don't know what it is, find out what you can be great at. Find out what you're good at, and then work on that. Work on your strengths. I always speak that into the youth. Is like, man, when you know that you're already kind of good at something, imagine if you just stick with it and keep evolving it. Like you get better because we got to understand that the whole journey of life is a process. So with our time while we're living, we go through certain seasons and stages, and throughout these, we go through times where it's a little bit more difficult,
right?
But through those times, man, you just always have to know and keep in mind that it's only temporary. It's not something that's going to be permanent. Temporary defeat does not mean permanent failure. So, having that mindset is definitely important. That attitude, and I just recalled a thought, but how the power of positivity is something that is like truly a gift to understand and comprehend of what it can do for your life. I know that we have a very positive person in our circle. His name is Bajan. We Uplift the World is his organization. He just actually did a event in Miami, Florida. It was called the Positivity Project, and he raised some funds for that. Flew out. He's actually in Los Angeles. Flew out, man, and he's a creative. He's an artist. He's a fine artist. He's more than that. He's a true gift from God, and he's a man of his word. He's a man of character and integrity. He's always full of energy. He's vibrant, and just a good friend. He's helped us out so much, throughout our journey of giving excellence. So we definitely give him a lot of appreciation. Bajan, we love you. We thank you because those conversations, a lot of seeds were planted from our first conversations and first actual interactions to be physically present in each other's view. So one thing about it, man, I recognize that having people around you, like you said, people that believe in you, but having an influence, a circle that is like really just speaking life into you and filtering you to stay positive throughout your steps in your journey, man, it's amazing to have it.
Well, the thing that's so awesome about you talking about Bajan is that you have the option to choose your friends.
Yeah.
Now, it goes to say with what sort of chemistry you have is a different story, right. But I've felt the chemistry that I wanted to be around someone like that. And I think that each one of us has the option to surround ourselves with people that are on the trajectory of life that we want to pursue. And we hope that person that you want to pursue is someone that has great character.
Right.
behind closed doors and in the public, because if you aspire to someone that is doing negative, destructive things and you want to be like them, obviously your actions and your mind is going to go towards that way. And so we chose to follow people that are even on higher level intellectual thinking, to gravitate towards them because they hold us accountable. Mike and I think we talk on a high level. You get Bajan in the room, and we are just open ears.
A whole nother level.
And we give this as an example because you don't always want to be the richest person in the room. You don't always want to be the smartest, the most wise person in the room, because you want to learn constantly in every interaction that you have. So that goes with humility. You need to understand that you are not great at everything, and you never will be great at everything. And to keep an open mind of everyone in the room, and to surround yourself with people that are going to challenge you and hold you accountable and say things to you that maybe you don't want to hear. I tell Mike things that he doesn't want to hear all the time, and vice versa. A lot of the interview skills that I've developed over the years have been told to me, things I need to improve on from the people that I most love, and I hate hearing it, but I know it's true. You need those people around, and Bajan is that one of us.
He gets
so
right,
you can think you're going on this sort of level and killing it and doing whatever, but when you get someone that is on another level,
you know, they want to see you succeed.
Bro, you're just like, man, I want to move faster. I want to get going.
Surround yourself around people who want to see you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people and
he constantly wants us to be great. Like he wants us
as vice versa.
Yeah,
we want him to be great, and so it's you know, and the reason why I mention him because, you know, he's a very important person.
Find one of those persons.
Yeah, find one of these people.
Find one of them.
Really help you, and you can have this type of testimony, because we're just speaking it. It's a different thing when you actually are in these conversations and you're around the person, the individual who just really. It's all about love. It's all about sharing love and abundance. It's all about surrounding yourself around people who are happy, people who have a vision. They have goals in their life. They want to. They have plans
that aren't stagnant.
Yeah, you know, they're like, okay, there's so much. The world that I want, it's up to me to create it. There's so much in this world, man. It's not just in your city that you're in. There's a whole world out here, and I think, man, just placing ourselves around people who have a vision for worldly views rather than, you know, my city or just in the little circle. No, how can we help the world and the people?
And, you know, at Giving Excellence, we say we're a culture of positive thinking individuals, but we want to dive into different sectors of entertainment. So music production, we want to dive into TV production. We want to dive into different channels that kids are watching, so that they can go to bed at night and think of us and hopefully wake up the next day with that sense of motivation. We don't ever want to go away. We don't want to just go and speak, or you see one episode and you're like, oh, that was cool, and then go back to your daily habits that might be destructive. We want to be a face, and it's not always going to be Mike and I that's going to represent Giving Excellence movement. We're going to have a lot of people that are going to carry the movement forward. And so we want Giving Excellence movement to be the last thing in your kids' mind, in your mind before you go to bed, so that you can have the energy maybe once a week or daily, so that you can consistently change your daily habits to progress into a purpose-filled life. And you see a little bit of the energy that Mike and I have here, but it gives us a different sense of urgency to wake up every morning. Not only do we have our families, we have the children of the world that are relying on us, and it's never going to be done. We just hope that we're a small part, and eventually, hopefully, a big part in changing that, in the positive thoughts and the positive actions, and changing from destructive entertainment figures to positive role models.
That's all it is, man. It's just going out here and displaying positive examples, and really living it.
It's not
it's another
easy.
Thing to speak it.
We can talk about it all we want.
Speak about it, but it's like actually living it. And, you know, to our attention, you know, we're young fathers. We're already have that responsibility to our own children. So to know that we don't want to just, we love our children, and they're great no matter what, because they're priority. But we also love all children. We also love all people. So we understand that our purpose serves more outside than our family. You know, it serves how can we help someone else?
Do you ever get questions of not just why are you doing what you do, but what do you do and where do you see the movement going? I feel like as we've continued to grow our brand and continue to understand what we represent here at the Giving Excellence Movement, it's starting to become clearer in how much of a need there is.
Yeah.
And I just laugh because I see where I was 2.5, 3 years ago, looking in the mirror at myself, not just physically, but knowing what was going on in my brain at that time. To see where we are today is just super gratifying that we're able to be on this platform. And
it's a start, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, this is definitely the beginning stages. I truly still believe that, no matter what the groundwork. Obviously, we're kind of, you know, we touched in on the groundwork for quite some time, but this is still the beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're new to this type of platform. We're new to being in front of the camera and, you know, having microphones and speaking. Like, we haven't been doing this for 10, 15 years. Like, this is fairly new.
And adversity will come, and we're just trying to prepare for those sorts of things too. But we're excited to get opportunities to be at different events, be at different TV shows.
Well, let me
speak at schools.
And you know, I think the one of the main aspects of what has helped us is the networking.
Mm-hmm.
Your network, like, you know, Sean, you know, you're a phenomenal relationship builder. You understand important techniques of how to build relationships with people. You know, and most importantly, when you meet people in any type of business, you know, we know that, like, it's important to want to see how you can help that person.
Right. Bring value to the table instead of just trying to take value from someone, to share your appreciation for that person, but also bring value into it. And just to piggyback off of that nice compliment of yours that I'm, and I don't realize that that's a gift. Sometimes it takes other people to tell you that's a gift.
Connected everybody, bro.
And I don't know that it is. I just, if I have a goal or a purpose in mind and I have a set deadline, I do what it takes to get it done.
Yeah.
And not to say that doesn't discount the individuals I interact with. I just know that speaking love and value and praise into other people's work happens to give you good things in return. And Mike, it's funny when I talk about Mike, even we know each other's barber pretty well. Just to give it, shout out to Ed. And we whenever I bring up Mike, he has a smile, and Ed's like a low key kind of guy. He's not a very charismatic individual. Maybe we just don't see him like that. But he's a real soft spoken guy. But whenever I bring up Mike, he always laughs or smiles. And he says, man, there's no holding that kid back. Like, that's who Mike is. He's not afraid of risk taking. He knows what he wants, and he'll speak to anyone, but he'll also speak about what he wants to speak about and knows there's a need for it. He tells me a lot of things like, Sean, slow down, live in the moment. You need to just take a step away. And I don't want to hear it, but Mike is so comfortable in himself that he knows what he's here for. He's a huge spiritual being. And it's funny that consistently different people, when you hear Mike Dunn, there's like, man, that kid, he's on a different level. You can't even, he just likes to travel. Okay.
I love to travel. I love to see new sights, man. I think it's important to.
But he understands the preciousness of life, and he ain't holding back. And everyone knows that, which is cool about that.
Still young,
about him. He's 25. And he's lived in 10 different cities.
Definitely more than that, but states for sure.
And it's just on a whim most of the time.
Yeah. You know, I just think like this. Look, if you're young, right? You're young. You have a dream, and if your intuition, whatever's speaking to you within your mind, if you know deep down inside that you may have to take that next step to make change in your life, whether it's just change a job, change a relationship, change of environment, scenery.
If you're not in a healthy situation,
I feel like you have to, like, sometimes just make it happen, because you know what?
Have some consistencies.
Right.
A lot of consistencies.
in anything. You want to be consistent.
Commitments.
But it's like commitments.
Have
commitments.
non-negotiable priorities.
Right.
But if you feel like a major change is due and you don't feel like yourself in a current setting, there's no reason to put yourself through that turmoil.
Make a change.
That's happened with me in a couple places I've been. And, you know, thankfully I had people pouring into me and praying for me and helping me physically get out of those negative situations. But Mike's never afraid to do something. So, but if you haven't followed Giving Excellence Movement, if you don't know who Michael Dunn is, if you don't know who I am, Sean Doherty, you can always follow us at Instagram, sean.r.doherty. You can always find Michael Dunn at Michael Dunn Jr.
It'll pop up.
Well, it'll pop up, but I think it's Michael Dunn.Jr.
Yep. On
Instagram, and then our Giving Excellence Movement page is at Giving Excellence Movement. Also, we have a website, givingexmovement.com. We just released our Giving Excellence Media YouTube channel, which is going to have our full-fledged episodes. And like I said, the episodes are just one part of what we represent. We have a lot of projects that we do, live speaking. We host events, music events, TV shows we've been a part of. We've done a little bit of acting. We'd like to get more into that. But we want to dive into all different entertainment industries. But if you haven't seen our recent commercial that we aired earlier, we're going to go ahead and put that one on as well. GK Films produced that. He's done a lot of great work with us. Shout out to Greg Keith. I can't thank him enough. He's been a trustee for us. He's done a lot of things that he didn't have to do just because he believes in the movement. He believes in what we represent. And we can't thank all the people that have helped us on this stage we're on. When we get to that huge platform, let us not ever forget the people that were with us when we first started. We will not forget you. We love you, and we thank you. And here is a little bit about what we represent here at Giving Excellence and what services we can offer. Go ahead and take it away, Israel. Giving Excellence Movement is a culture of individuals that are transforming the entertainment industry into an educational platform. Through our variety of services, we bring years of study, personal development, mentorship, and life experiences that not only educate the youth, but also aspiring entrepreneurs to walk as a role model and create positive change within their communities. We see there's a major need in the entertainment industry for powerful young role models that the youth can latch onto and bring about lasting change in not only their lives, but the lives of thousands of others that may need a helpful hand to get out of their current circumstances. Our services include live speaking at schools, businesses, and events, TV show and event host, uplifting music production, brand ambassador work such as commercial advertising, acting, and much more. If you would like Giving Excellence to come provide your school, business, show, or event a boost of positive, sustainable personal development, please inbox us at givingexmovement@gmail.com and visit us at our website at www.givingexmovement.com. We are honored to bring the movement to you and look forward to continuing to transform the entertainment industry into one that can showcase young, professional role models that our next generation can listen to for guidance and support. From Giving Excellence Movement, we love you and know you can and will give excellence in every area of your lives.
All right, back again. Great commercial. Like I said, that's the commercial, just showing the services, that we offer.
Yeah, and we needed
Giving
that
Excellence.
severely.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't know what we represented, what we did, if we actually have services, or if we're just a bunch of guys volunteering and trying to speak to the youth. But we actually are an actual business, and we are seeking inquiries. We're also seeking investors for our next project.
Yeah, definitely.
We're always moving forward, So please do inbox us if you have questions at the
furthermore. Bring us out. We truly, if you guys hear, man, we're very consistent with what we speak about the youth, but most importantly, bring us out. We want to be in front of you,
or give us a try.
At least, let us show you. What
we're not gonna hurt the kids. We're not gonna.
No, we're definitely gonna. they're gonna walk the field.
Yeah, they're gonna be happy. And if you're not, don't ever feel like you don't have to tell us what we need to improve on. We're open ears as far as that too. We're definitely on a trajectory where we can't be closed-minded. So give us a shot. Let us host one of your events. Get us on the mic. Get us on the stage. We're comfortable in different settings, and Mike is the MC of all MCs. Give him a mic on a stage, and you see him introduce who was it? Not Bob.
Yeah.
Bobby Sessions. I mean, he's been at Trees, different events.
I love it.
I mean, give him a shot, dude. The kid's got charisma like you've never seen before. Also speaking, he gets him specifically. I'm still working on the live speaking at schools, and I'd love to be better at it. But if you see Mike's charisma at your school, you're gonna not regret it. I can tell you that right now. He gets some other spirit I've never seen, but when he's in front of the kids and he starts getting the vibes off the kids, they're engaged.
I love it.
You're not gonna regret your investment with us. And
that's true. You know, just being the faces. Coming there, you guys want some young, smiling faces, some ones that's going to go in there and really speak firmly.
They're not going to be falling asleep, I can tell you that.
They will not fall asleep. They will.
We can do classrooms and auditoriums. It doesn't matter.
And also, you know, any ideas, if you have any ideas as far as TV shows, you know, anyone that's watching, hey, we're always open to ideas.
We can get interviewed and we can interview.
Yeah.
So if you have an active TV show, we're more than happy to drop in. Give us a chance, you know.
Be in front. But most importantly, man, I'm really, you know, grateful for today.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. You know, I think it's
even when adversity hits.
Things. Yeah, man, you got to stick to the basics.
Stick to the basics.
You know, every day wake up and I try to like
do an internal inventory of how you're doing yourself.
Exactly. You know, my inner
how's your
dialogue.
character?
Yeah. And how are my thoughts today? You know, are they proactive? Am I being proactive in my life, or am I just letting things happen to me? You know, do I feel like I can achieve anything today? I mean, it's just those.
Just like, I don't know what your mood was before, but not only what I said to him on the way to the studio today, I called him up and I just had this sense of emotion and I just poured my heart out. I've had these instances the last couple of weeks where I've had these couple of weeks where I've just been super spiritually good. Like I feel calm. I have a calming spirit about me, and not to rush things and to just be okay with where I'm at and the trajectory I'm on. And so I just poured into Mike and told him, hey, man, like today is going to be a great day, and let us not rush anything. Let's understand that we have a voice to be heard. People are going to watch, and people need to hear it regardless if we're perfect or not, regardless if we make mistakes. It doesn't matter, because the point is we're trying. We really believe in them. We believe in ourselves, our families, but also everyone else has a certain creative spirit about them. And to not be so hard on each other, not to be so hard on ourselves if we're not doing the things we really want to do at the speed that we want to. But knowing that lives are at stake and people could hear my story and you know, could change their life, and you could hear Mike's story and change their life. It doesn't matter what it is, but I told him I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for the Giving Excellence movement, anyone involved with us, and I'm just so excited of what's to come.
I'm so grateful for God.
Yeah, right?
You know, I always say that because, you know, like when you just keep your intention focused on the Spirit of the living God, man, it's like just things happen, you know, doors just open up. You start meeting people that you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm really close to what I'm envisioning in my mind. Like I just met someone who can actually offer that opportunity. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's all about energy. Energy is very important. The energy that you have when you wake up, before you go to bed, and I've noticed that, you know, when you have a high energy, you start to like really create things like very fastly.
That too, and you had an experience where you used to, you know, ride the bus to work all the time, and there's a lot of lost souls, especially, you know, in public transportation, and there's nothing wrong. I'm just saying, he's like, man, I walk on that DART bus, and I just, I see a lot of lost souls, and Mike, knowing Mike, he doesn't care. He'll get up and speak on the bus, and he doesn't give it, a dang about anything besides pouring into people. But there is a need for what we're trying to do, and we hope that you believe in that as well.
Yeah.
We also do brand ambassador work too, like events. like we'll represent your company if you
Definitely.
want us to. If it makes sense for us, we'll advocate that. And you know, we're Giving Excellence Movement. Like I said, this is Mike Dunn Jr. This is Sean Doherty. You can reach us at givingexmovement.com, at Giving Excellence Movement on Facebook and Instagram. Then we got Giving Excellence Movement YouTube channel. Check us out. We got all the episodes on there. We release them once a week. We look forward to doing business with you. We love you, and we know you can and will
Give excellence.
give excellence in every area of your life. We love you. Thanks.
Be great, folks.